What I'm going to say is going to upset you, and so I want you to remember that I'm just the messenger. I didn't make these things happen, but I do want to honestly tell you because we live now in a weird time. Weirder and in different ways from what we were used to. This country is in a time of decline, and when an empire declines, which is something we hadn't gone through because empires don't decline very often, let me tell you a little bit from the history books. It's not fun to be in a declining empire. It's much more fun when the empire is going up. That was the last century or century and a half of this country. The ride up. We are now on the ride down. We haven't been prepared because we have leaders who cannot say a word about that. I want to drive that home because the split in this country is really about that. So let me start with the split in an obvious way. That split is everywhere now. And if you haven't noticed it yet, you will, because it's going to impact your life in all kinds of ways. So, one of those ways is understanding what a declining empire means. To give you some context, the United States lost the war in Vietnam. When I say that in my classes, my students look at me, they've never heard such a thought. America, as they know from the comic books they read as children, only wins wars. It doesn't lose wars, but we lost. The war was fought against the Communist Party of North Vietnam, which has been running that country since the United States was driven out in 1975. Go check all of this. You'll find I'm not making it up. After we lost the war in Vietnam, we went and had a big war in Afghanistan, which we also lost. That war was against the Taliban, which now runs that country. That's a good sign that you lost. We lost the war in Iraq. We are in the process of losing the war in Ukraine. If I were in certain audiences, I wouldn't dare say what I just said. They couldn't hear it, they could not hear it, but it is the reality. Let me give you a couple more bits to help you understand what decline really means. Last week, something happened involving a country called Indonesia. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's a remarkable country in Asia, made up of 18,000 islands in the Pacific. It's a huge country. The population of Indonesia is 280 million people, making it one of the largest countries in the world. Let me remind you, the population of the United States is 330 million. 280 isn't that far from 330. It's enormous. What did they do? They joined BRICS. They became a full partner of the BRICS. BRICS, by the way, stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. A dozen years ago, they began to form an alliance of what came to be called the Global South, to become relatively independent from the domination of the United States. And the core economy there, the biggest one, the most powerful, is, sorry to tell you this, I know it'll upset you, the People's Republic of China. Remember, I'm just the messenger. I have no responsibility for this at all. Indonesia joined them. Now, BRICS, built around China, includes about 22 countries. Altogether, they account for about 55% to 60% of the population of the world. What is the percentage of the world's population in the United States? 4.5%. Let that sink in. We are 4.5%. They are 55% to 60%. In the words of Mickey Mouse, those odds are not so good no matter how you cut it. And as a group, let me tell you how you cut it. In economics, we have this little game. We ask what is the total output in goods and services in a year by a country. That gives us a rough idea of how big a country is, how important its footprint is in the world. So if you take the BRICS countries together, they now produce about 35%, maybe a bit more, of the total output of the world. Add up each of those countries' total output in a year, and it accounts for roughly 36% of the world's economy. Now let's compare that to the United States and its major allies known as the G7. That's the group of seven: the United States, Japan, Canada, Britain, France, Italy, and Spain. That group used to be the dominant player in the world. That used to be what world trade meant. Together, the G7 now accounts for only about 28% of the world's output. Do you understand? BRICS is now what the United States was, but is no more. Now, if you're looking for where the wealth is, you go east, not west. If you're a poor third world country, as we used to call them, and you need money to build a railroad or you need to find places to sell your exports, you direct your diplomats first to go to Beijing, because that's where it's at. If you can't get a good deal there, well, maybe you go to London or Washington. But whatever you are doing, you're going to play them against each other. You're going to say to the Americans, "Oh, that's the best you offer? Let's go to the other place and see what they offer." You want to know why most of the railroads being built in Africa today are being built by the Chinese? There's your answer. They got a better deal. Everything is changing because of this, except here. where make-believe is the way this country is dealing with, sadly. We all know denial from our personal lives, right? When we've lost a friend or a lover, and we had to wait until all our friends told us what we couldn't face ourselves. Well, we are the friends in this country who are being unable to face it.